Hello Pet and Primary, I hope you're all safe and well. I'm going to read you a story called Fred, all about a cat who didn't want to go outside. Because today's a really horrible windy day, just the kind of day where if I was a cat, I wouldn't want to go outside either. Dad had made Fred a special little door. Katie told him he could go through it into the garden. Fred wasn't so sure. He looked through the cat flap. And horrible Harry from next door was outside. "Sss," said Fred, feeling very safe. "Can't catch me." Wham! Horrible Harry's big paw shot through the cat flap, and the flap hit Fred. "Ouch!" yelled Fred. Fred hid behind the fridge. Would Horrible Harry come right in? Horrible Harry tried, but Katie's mum shooed him away. "I don't like my cat flap," said Fred. "Not if Horrible Harry can come into my kitchen, just like that." "Meow," said Fred a bit later. He wanted to go in the garden. "Use your cat flap," said Katie. She pushed at it to show him how. Fred scratched at the flap with his paws. It was all slippery and shiny. It waggled, but it didn't open. Then Fred pushed at it with his head. It started to open. Was Horrible Harry still out there? Fred jumped back, and the flap jumped back too. "I hate my flap," said Fred. At last Katie pushed Fred through the flap. "Out you go," she said. "It's easy when you know how." "Ow!" yelled Fred, and the cat flap had bitten his tail. Fred shot across the lawn and hid under the bushes, just in case Horrible Harry was still around. There he is, hiding away under the bushes. Fred stayed hidden for a very long time. He began to feel hungry. "Come on, Fred, supper time," called Katie's mum at last. She stood outside with a plate of cat food. Horrible Harry was sitting on the wall. "Should I risk it?" thought Fred. He really didn't want to go past Horrible Harry again, did he? Fred crawled out. He hoped Horrible Harry wouldn't see him. Then, just as he reached the door, Katie's mum went inside and shut it. "Use your flap," she called out to him, but Fred was frightened to go through in case it bit his tail again. Poor Fred is looking rather sad there. Fred hid behind a flower pot. By now he was very hungry. When Katie's mum opened the door, Fred slipped in. "You naughty kitten," said Katie's mum. "You'll never use your cat flap if you don't try." Poor Fred. Fred decided to try very hard. He stood at the far end of the kitchen, shut his eyes, and ran very fast towards the cat flap, and hurtled through it like a furry bullet. What do you think's going to happen next? Right into the garden where Horrible Harry was waiting for him. Horrible Harry didn't know what had hit him, and it didn't stop to find out. He fled over the wall into his own garden. "My cat flap is brilliant," said Fred. So Fred really changed his mind about how he felt about his cat flap. I wonder if there's anything that you tried to do that you couldn't do at first, but like Fred, when you tried really, really hard, you got it in the end. Well done, Fred.